Welcome everyone. Today we have a new build guide for last epoch with Shaman. Looking behind me, I do have an Endgame Shaman build that I want to share with you guys, and this is from my friend Roy NZ. And you can see the demonstration of his Shaman Summon Totem build with the testing dummies. What we'll do is we'll provide you guys with the demonstration of his abilities and also combos. As you can see, just 2 button spamming. He is incredibly tanky. If you have a quick look, his armor is close to 85% damage reduction, and he mentioned he can get over 20,000 armor with super capped armor protection, and also you can see the resistance is over 300. He's mentioning that his void resistance is a little lower because he was still farming for the void blessing, and once he get a void blessing, he'll be over 100 void resistance. So yes, this is an incredibly tanky Shaman build, and this summons a lot of totems. In doing so, you'll be healing yourself, having infinite transformation with your staggering form, and also summon lots of totems. You have cleanse, you have increased movement speed, you have healing effects, and you're super durable in the end game, which means you likely won't be dying anytime soon. So this is quite a fun build, and by casting your vines, you can be teleporting as well to give you additional mobility. Now, the build excels at many things. One of the best things about the build is the ability to face tank anything, as you can see over here. And in case you're wondering, yes, this is the TL 300, and what I want to show you guys is, my friend also gave us a lot of notes. So yes, he is currently the number 39 Shaman in the world. And yes, this is the corruption level 300 map he was mapping, and he was expanding a lot and also mapping and also farming for a lot of good items in corruption level 300, and he can go even higher. And as you can see over here, the build is incredibly tanky, and I do believe that elite was quite durable. So let's have a look at the build in action in another run. And I do believe over here he's fighting one of the timeline bosses. Again guys, one of the demonstration of the build and also the highlight of the Shaman tank variety is that it is really tanky. And during the fight you don't get to see his stats, but you saw earlier, and I'll provide you guys with a full, with a full replay of this particular demonstration. He is super durable, super tanky. Even though you're looking at 2600 HP, which he can get even higher, his effective HP is incredibly high, with over 80-85% damage reduction by getting more armor and also tons of resistance. In terms of damage, the single target damage is not bad. It is very decent as he stands on the enemies. And all he has to do is pressing 2 buttons and stands over there, and the monster will die eventually, which is quite fun. So this is definitely an interesting build, and oh yes, he got to show us his durability over here. So you can see it's over 100, 200 with the stats, and it's really fun to be a super tank in last epoch in the higher tier dungeons. So coming over to the builders guide my friend shared with us, he has also provided us with additional notes which we'll go through together briefly, and if you want to read up, there's a lot of additional tips and also advice from him how to play the Shaman as the Totem Shaman in the latest stage of the game. Briefly looking at items, you can see that some of his items are legendary 2 potential, and he has just found this particular legendary 3 potential. He was quite excited with this one, he wanted to share with me. He did mention that there is no particular unique item that is required for the build, but each unique you find will make you tankier, having longer duration with your form and also infinite form transformation with this build, and also ability to give your minion additional damage and also additional stats using different items, having more mobility using the rings. So yes, as you find additional items, you will become tankier, stronger with uniques, but it is not needed to complete the build and to make it work. Now you can see that the build is quite focused on minion damage, so you can see that he is focusing on the tier 6 minion spells and also bull damage, and over here he's getting additional levels to summoning totems. The build will focus on critical strike as you saw in the replay, so getting minion critical strike multipliers, additional health will help him while getting additional minion damage, and also over here additional minion damage and also minion health will make him more durable and also deals more damage with his summons. Now my friend also mentioned that his critical strike avoidance is super high, and I think it's like 100%, which means it's almost impossible for anything to strike him as a critical strike. And with the tons of healing and also ability to sustain himself, he is a super tank in the higher corruption mode. Now what I do is I'll provide you guys with a link to the builder's guide for you to have a look. You can see that he's using summoning Storm Totem and also summoning Thorns Totem while combining with the Staggering Film and also summoning Spaggering. Is that Spaggering? I cannot pronounce those names. And also Atta's healing will give him additional utility and also other ways of cleansing. So let's briefly come over to my friend's notes. He did mention that the build is a little slower in the early stage of the game because naturally the summons are not great for mobility. Now I'll also provide you guys with a link if you want to look into leveling up with shamans. There's tons of great build on last epoch. Now as you keep going, you're going to realize as you get to higher levels, the shaman has not much of a mana issue. He can be spamming a lot and you can decide how you want to fight, in close or in distance range. And because you're super tanky with resistance, this means you can be flexible with items choices. Now casting Adra's Blessing onto ourselves will give us additional resistance, and this is one of the ways you can notice that his build does not have any fire resistance because he'll be getting more resistance as he transforms, so keep that in mind. He can easily get his armor over 20,000 stacks with enough Thorn Shield, and with the Spaggering form, he will be able to cast multiple skills together. Now having the particular unique belt allows him to generate rage, and this allows him to have additional vines as well. A few of the focus nodes you can see he mentioned over here is the ability of the Thorn Shield, and also the Thorn Shield is proccing through the healing totem of the Spaggering form. And over here my friend also shared a few of the synergies using the Thorn Shield and also the Storm Shield for more utility, more healing, and also how to deal damage with the gameplay over here. So as a brief summary, I think it's easy if I show you guys the gameplay. You can see that he will be casting totems right away. And let me see if I can show you when he transforms. Oh, he's always transformed. Because of the build, he's always transformed. When you're playing shamans and also when you transform, you will have additional skills on top of your current ones. So his Thorn Totem and also the Healing Totem are pretty much the same skill. And with the passives, he's summoning 3 totems at once. And having additional totems on the field means that he can do more focus damage and just spams them anywhere as he moves forward. So it's pretty nice to see so many summons at once, and this really allows him to focus fire and deals tons of damage as he moves forward. Now in terms of stats priority and also additional idols and also blessings, you can see that the build is quite flexible. Because he has so much resistance, he will try to get 100% critical avoidance, and also spellcasting speed will allow him to spam more totems, which means dealing more damage. So which is quite interesting. Usually in most of my build I will go for resistance with those, but you can see that he is actually getting different part of the utility with the totems because he actually has so much resistance with the combo and also with the build. So what I do now is I'll provide you guys with this short replay recording of him demonstrating the build in corruption level 300. And if you guys do want to play a different class and also a different combination, Totem Summon could be pretty nice in the endgame as he becomes the unkillable tank. And this will allow him to push for higher levels with corruption and also push for leaderboard with arenas as well. Now if you guys haven't subscribed, this is a really good time to do so, because I'll be learning with tons of the top meta, top last epoch build from different players in terms of solo and also in terms of co-op to push for higher corruptions, 800, 2000 here, and also different ways of getting top leaderboard with arena with leveling. And in doing so, we'll be learning multiple builds from the best players in the world. So make sure you subscribe and join me on this adventure to learn with last epoch. And if you guys do have an amazing build, whether it's a fun build, it's a creative build, or maybe a top meta build, you can share with me on Discord, and I'll look into it, learn the build, and share with everyone on the Last Epoch community.
surrounds. Can you feel your blood begin to freeze? Your body will make an exceptional servant. Your interference ends now. These beasts obey me. The chill of death surrounds you. Can you feel your blood begin to freeze? Your body will make an exceptional servant. Your interference ends now. No! I am undying!